phone number is 888-727-BECK. Let's go to Mark in Cleveland, Ohio.
Hey, Glenn. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. I get it, and I have since about 2003.
Thank you.
Hey, man, I just wanted to let you know, there's that audio osmosis going on with you because on Sunday when Nancy was marching with her little crew up to go sign, or actually I think to go do the vote of the bill, and she had the gavel, and they go rolling right through the protesters. I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm saying to myself, why would she antagonize these people this way? And I honestly said to myself, if I was there, I'd probably throw a tomato at her. And then I thought about it afterwards when all the stories came out about the harsh language, and I said, that was it. They wanted something to happen.
Yes. Yes, they do.
They were looking for it.
Yes. Yes. Yes, they do.
I couldn't believe it. I just really was stunned because they had nothing.
Mark, did you see the story I did? Did you see the TV show last night?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Did you see when I explained that the radicals learned all of the people that are around the president right now were the 1960s radical revolutionaries?
It's I call it the inversion of the status quo.
Exactly right.
That's how I refer to it, because that's what they're trying to do.
Yes, they knew that the man had power.
Right.
And so what they did is they want to put the man, they knew that the man had power, so instead of trying to start a revolution, which they knew the American people would never do, and never side with bomb throwers, what they did is they put themselves in the position of the man. Van Jones said it himself, I am willing to drop the radical pose for the radical ends.
Yep. Hey, if I can pass a little something on to you,
yes.
Never forget what Kenobi said to Vader. Strike me down, and I will be stronger than you can ever imagine.
Oh, Mark, I know that. I know that.
And that's how everybody else should understand it. Because that's exactly where it's heading.
Thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate it. And you know what? The idea here with that Mark had about walking through the crowd is exactly right. Do you think that there is anybody in Secret Service that said to Nancy Pelosi that was a good idea? No. Secret Service had to say, Speaker, that is not a good idea. We can't necessarily protect you. We can't. No. Well, we're doing it anyway. Why would you do that? Because these are the 1960s radicals. They wanted someone to push up against them. Again, please, if you DVR'd last night's TV show, watch it. If you did watch it, pass this on to other people and draw it out for you. Draw it out for them. I showed it on the chalkboard last night. Remember, LBJ and Nixon were up at top, and these guys were the man. Then you had people like our parents and our grandparents, the Leave It to Beaver people. And then you had all the hippie freaks, the dope-smoking freaks that were, literally plotting revolution. Not everybody was, but that's who was causing the trouble. And do you remember all of it was like the G20. They were plotting the demise of America. And because of people like our parents and our grandparents that they looked at those people and said, they're destroying America. What the radicals decided, and Van Jones is the one who's articulated it best, I am willing to drop the radical pose for the radical ends. In other words, put on a suit and tie and become the man. That's what they're doing. All of these people, if you look into their past, they don't have a split. Even Barack Obama does not have a clear split from Marxism. All of a sudden, they're just credible. And all of these institutions and organizations cleanse them. They get awards. NAACP. What did happen with Van Jones? He leaves because he's a radical. He has to leave. What happens? He starts to get awards. He starts speaking at universities. It gives him credibility. Look at the awards these people have won. It gives them credibility. It cleanses them. And so they're respectable. No. They're dropping the radical pose. and they have allies to cleanse them. It's like money laundering, except it's Marxist laundering. And so now they've become the man. Now, why do you think that Nancy Pelosi was walking through that crowd? Nancy Pelosi was walking through that crowd because they know what they would have done. Had the speaker walked through the middle of the crowd in a 1960s love-in, flower power, anti-war protest filled with radicals, they would have torn them to shreds. And they knew that. But we surprise them every time. I can guarantee you, they walked out and said, what the hell do you have to do to these people to get them to kill us? I swear to you. We surprise them because we're not them. I can guarantee, what do you think would have happened if you would have walked Barack Obama or George Bush or the Republican and Democratic leadership through the crowd at the G20? What do you think would have happened to them? Do you think they just would have been called naughty names? They would have been ripped limb from limb. Why do you think that they are? Why do you think that they are insulting you every step of the way? They're insulting you because they know what it felt like. They know what the administration, what the man did that made them build bombs. Because remember, they did build bombs. They blew up the Pentagon and police stations. They blew them up. They made bombs. So they know how to build bomb makers. And they also know how to build and detonate bombs. They know what it took. They know what the administration did to them in the 1960s, and they're doing it to you. But we're not them. They're confused. They don't know why you haven't lashed out. They're like, we're almost out of stuff here. What else do we have to do to these people to get them to lash out? You can do everything to us. We will defend ourselves, but we will follow Gandhi. And remember one thing, Gandhi was not only right about peace. Peace will win every time. Look at this. How did Jesus do it? See, they don't have God. How did Jesus do it? He was crucified. Oh, yeah, that really worked out in their favor, didn't it? Kind of worked in his favor. Gandhi, Martin Luther King. Do you see? It works every time. But Gandhi was right about something else. First, they ignore you. Then they ridicule you. Then they try to destroy you. Then you win. We're one step away. One. It's just the hardest step, but we're only one step away.